I'll teach you step by step how to create an AI no-code SaaS app that gives blazing fast summaries of web pages, PDFs, and even YouTube videos. And we're going to build this in just 10 minutes, and it's going to perform just like this. Look how quick that is. It is a summary of this video here, and less than half a second, we get back all of this amazing data. So let's dive into the Bubble editor, where I've got a very simple web page together. I've got just a text label, an input field, and a button. Nothing else is going on. And so we need to look at the Kagi universal API. That's the service we'll be using. If you're not aware of Kagi, it's a privacy-first search engine, a paid search, in fact. But before I go into that, if you are learning Bubble, then click the link down in the description right now, because that will give you access to hundreds of Bubble tutorial videos, and if you become a paid member, access to our community and even more Bubble tutorial videos. But before I go on, if you're building a no-code SaaS app and you're using AI and you're using Bubble, then it's well worth your time to click the link down in the description, because we've got hundreds of Bubble tutorial videos and a no-code community exclusive to our members. So let's dive into this app. If we go into the Universal Summarizer documentation, here we go. We can see we need to make a GET request to this endpoint with these details in it to validate the request. So we go into Bubble and go into plugins, and then the API connector. And the API connector is immensely powerful because it will allow you to connect with all sorts of services. I've got emails here, I've got other AIs, I've got Make, I've got Zapier, I've got calendars, I've got SEO tools, all of which you can pull data in and out of your Bubble app with. So let's add in Kagi for now. And authorization, private key in header. And I know that because in the header, I have to put my token or my API key. So I also know that I have to prefix that with bot. Right, let's make the rest of the API cool. So we'll say get summary. Now I know that it's a get request, but I need to know where to make that get request. So it is this URL here. I'm going to copy that, paste it in. Now let's look at the different parts of this URL. We've got a parameter here called engine, and we've got a parameter here called URL. I need to make the URL bit dynamic or a merge field, so I can do that by using square brackets, and Bubble tells us how just here. So I can say insert URL here, close. And then if I click out, Bubble creates that as a field. And I need it to not be private, not because I want necessarily all the data to be completely publicly accessible, but I'm not hiding this data from my user. In fact, because my user is supplying this data, I want to, there's no point hiding it. Now, this is different to authorization. Because I've said this is a private key, I don't want my users accessing my private key. Technically, in most cases, when you run a front-end workflow, everything is accessible to the user unless you exclude it, which I'm doing here by putting the private key or the secret key in the declaring it at the top here. So let's go ahead and get a URL. Let's copy that. Oh, wrong one. Paste it in. Okay, and the last bit is to get my API key, or my app token. So let's say generate token, copy token, and insert it in here. Right, now let's scroll down, and we have to initialize our call. And this is our way of testing it, and also of teaching Bubble exactly what to send and what to expect in response. So let's give it a go. Right, you may have noticed a cut in the video there. That's because I've just learned a few things. First of all, bot needs to have a capital B. I'd missed that. Second, I got an error saying that my account needed topping up. That's true, I hadn't topped it up. Now I have. Third is that there are a number of different engines, here we go, that you can use. At the moment it's Muriel, and Muriel costs $1 every time you use it. Now it is very good, but it still costs a whole dollar. So I'm actually going to swap in Cecil, So go back into my Bubble app and swap in settle as the engine. And now I'm going to try it again. So reinitialize cool. Engine parameters. Did I mistype it? Oh, I put space in. That's why. Okay, let's try that. Initialize cool. Okay, and I get this response back about the video, and I can see that that's cost me far less than if I was using Mural. So I'm going to click save, and let's now add this into our Bubble app. I need to also change this to action. That's because I want it to be an action in a workflow. So when the button is clicked, this happens. So let's go back into our app and add in the workflow. So we'll go add workflow and then plugins. And then I find my Kagi, basically by using the API connector, I've effectively created my own plugin. And now I insert my input, which is my URL. Okay. And then that's going to make the API call, but I'm not displaying it in any way. So I'm going to use custom states to display it. So I'm going to add in some text. Yeah. Okay. And custom states are a way of temporarily storing data on the page. Nothing is saved to the database. If the page is refreshed, the data is lost. But I'll just say summary. And I'm creating a custom state on the page itself. You can create a custom state on any part of the page, on any element. I just like to do it on the page so that I don't forget where I placed it. And now I've got that custom state. I can say that this text shows summaries. That's my page summary. Okay, because that's my custom state. So now on the workflow, I can say set state. So I'm saving, but not saving, just somewhere to display it, onto summaries, into the summary custom state. And now I say the results and I take the output. Remember, this is all the data that we saw come back in the Bubble API connector. And all I want to do is show the output. So let's now test that in our app. And to do that, let's just grab another video. Yeah, drag one of these. Right, let's take this one. Copy URL. Preview. Okay, paste in that YouTube URL. Remember, this will work for web pages, PDFs, PowerPoints, but it just needs to be publicly accessible on the web. And I'll say get summary. So now Bubble is making that API request to Kagi, and we're waiting on a response to come back. There we go. And so I did pick up from the title that the video is about Android, and so we get this wonderful summary back.